Okay guys, back to Ask Scruff. Now this one is, I would think it's quite an interesting question. Some mightn't, but I genuinely do. So it's the clog dancer, Simon, my little chap. By the way, I really enjoyed the holiday I had down near where you live. Went to Ironbridge Gorge, it was wonderful. Anyway, cut long story short, let's find it here. Hi Scruff, hope you had a great break. I did. And when you get to the screens in the morning, how do you assess your basket of products? Do you use the strength sheet to narrow down, or do you do a bias for them all? Okay. First of all, it would help if I show you what the strength sheet is. So for those who don't know, I work my strengths out personally. But I also look at kind of a fixed basket. I look at the same products over and over. So this is secondary to what I look at first. And what I look at first is this. It's a window of the world. Now, you can have any window of the world you choose. I just put on my primary products here. Now, a lot of them, well, they are correlated. So gold is correlated to the USJPY. USJPY, obviously, because US is the base currency, is then correlated into Euro dollar and pound USD. Euro dollar is correlated into the DAX. There's a correlation between the pound and the FTSE, and then both of these are correlated into the S&P 500, and then down in the bottom I have oil as a world driver. So I look at this basket first, and I would look to see if there was something that gave me interest. Now, if I'm trading the morning session, I'm kind of looking here, around this area. I want to see what's happening with the DAX, and I want to see what's happening with the currencies, because they're going to move early morning. If I'm moving in the afternoon, I'm kind of looking at this one. Okay, get a good second bite of the cherry. And then oil and gold, I can trade pretty much 24 hours a day. Now, if I come onto my sheet, I have it also built on here where I can look at things. Now, I can look at this in a quick snapshot. I have a market pick up here, and this will pick out the strongest currencies and pitch it against the weakest currencies. So for argument's sake, in this scenario, I would first look up here and see if there's anything here that happens to be in my basket. Well, there isn't, not really. You know, I don't trade any of these, not normally, but the biggest mover was the Aussie Euro. So that might give me some interest. How would that give me interest? Well, it's the biggest gain and it's the biggest drop. Why? Well, is it up in here? Well, it's not. So it's not that good a movement. Okay. Then I would come down into this. This is all the majors and it pulls out two. Well, again, I don't really trade either of them, but I might have a glance at them if there's nothing going on. But my first port of call is here, and I have it broken down into times. So it's the FTSE, the DAX, pound JPY, pound USD, and USD JPY. They're my primary markets that I look at. Okay, look at them first, and as you can see, they're all in kind of the London session. Then I'll look at this Euro USD. I only really do the box trading on that if I decide to trade it. Gold, well, I can trade that all day. Bitcoin, I can trade it all day. Oil, I can trade all day. The US 100, I can trade all day. Also, the type of trade that I look at is down the side. So they're my markets. When it comes to this, I'm looking. So for argument's sake, say I'm going to be trading pound JPY. Well, there's my pound. And it's lost 3 points from the last data sample on this particular sheet. There's JP, but the strengths are virtually identical. So it's not going to move far. So I can then look to see what the change of strength is from the last data sample. Well, the pound lost a lot of ground and JP was gaining ground. Okay, so what that might do is, I know it's not going to trend too much, but there might be a decent scalp opportunity. So I can look at that. I can look at pound USD. That's on there. Well, the pound USD, the pound is considerably stronger than the USD at the moment. Again, look at the change of strength to see what's happened. Well, change of strength's roughly the same. So again, it's nothing more than a scalp. Okay, then look at USD JPY. Well, that's strong. That's pretty weak. What's happening over here? That's losing ground. That's gaining ground. That could be a good contender. So these are the things I'm looking at. And once I've drilled into the product that I'm interested in, and it is literally looking at all of it, I look at these first, and if I can't see anything, then I just wait. I do glance at this to see if there's anything happening. Well, the CAD was the strongest here versus the US, which is there. Okay. It's also fired up inside of here as good, and it's a gain. And what it'll tell me is, it'll tell me what chart to monitor. So I'll have a good look at a 4-hour chart, see if there's any decent big movement in it. And if there is, okay, I'll drop it over onto here to see what's going on. Well, the ATR is not that good on it, so it's only ever going to be like a 6-7 pip trade at a time. Do I trade it all the time? No, so I'll probably leave it alone. And that's what I'm doing all the time. I'm just looking for best product. But ultimately, it's this lot and this lot what I'm looking at first. And I'll be looking, I couldn't give a monkey's which one I trade, but I'll be looking for something with something in it. So this one here, it's had a strong drive down and it's now curling up. So there could be a good Kylie opportunity here, but I'll have to wait for it. It is Sunday, so I don't like trading Monday morning. So by the time I get to this, that might be up here somewhere. And if I've missed the trade, I've missed the trade. Doesn't matter. I'll look at this. I'll look at that. So there's lots of things that I do. But there's nothing wrong with just looking at, say, 3 products and just trade them 3. You can do that. I mean, with green light, red light, which we've just set up and doing for you. I've actually done something for the squad. I'll take you through it tomorrow night, just to make life a bit easier. I only look at a couple of products on that because I don't want to be jumping around like an idiot. So I hope that kind of helps. It's a strange way of doing it, but basically I'm just narrowing everything into one asset, and then once I've got that asset, I'll track it till I finish the trade, and then I'll consider looking at something else. But I won't look at multiple assets. I'll drill it into a single one first, and then that's the trade till it's finished. Then I'll start looking at something else, and I do it set in the morning, set on the afternoon. Catch you soon.